Today, we journey into a story of love, loss, and redemption. A story of a young man who chose freedom over family, indulgence over wisdom, pride over humility. Have you ever felt lost? Felt far from God? This story is for you. We begin with a father who had two sons. One was faithful, obedient, living under his care. The other, restless, craving the world, impatient for independence. One day, the younger son approached his father and said, "Father, give me my share of the inheritance now." A shocking request, for inheritance is normally received after a father's passing. Yet, he wanted it early. The father, full of love and patience, divided his wealth, and the younger son set off for a distant country, far from the safety of home, far from the guidance of love. The older brother watched with unease, jealousy brewing in his heart. But this story is not about anger. It is about choice. The younger son entered the far country with excitement and confidence. At first, all seemed bright and full of joy. Parties, friends, pleasures he had never known filled his days. But the world has a way of hiding its cost. Slowly, the money dwindled. Friends vanished. The thrill faded. The pleasures that seemed sweet turned hollow. This is the lure of sin, shiny at first, empty in the end. Then famine came. Hunger pressed upon him. He found work feeding pigs, the lowest of tasks for someone raised in a loving home. And as he sat among the swine, looking at the food he could not even eat, a thought pierced his heart. I have sinned. I have turned my back on my father. I am no longer worthy to be called his son. It was in this quiet, broken place that repentance began. Repentance is not prideful. It is humble. It is the courage to admit failure, to acknowledge distance from God, to say, I am lost. I need mercy. And so, he decided to return home. Each step was heavy with fear and hope. Would he be forgiven? Would he be welcomed? His heart trembled as he imagined the father's reaction. Yet even before he arrived, something incredible happened. The father, who had been watching from afar, saw him coming, and filled with compassion, he ran. He ran to his son, arms wide, embracing him before a word was spoken. Tears fell. Joy overflowed. The father called for celebration. His son was home, forgiven, restored, loved. But the story does not end there. The older brother, who had remained faithful, obedient, and hardworking, stood outside, anger burning in his heart. Why celebrate him? He demanded. I have never disobeyed, and yet no feast has been made for me. The father spoke gently, reminding him, Son, you are always with me, and all I have is yours. But your brother was lost, and now he is found. We must rejoice. This is the heart of the story. God's love is greater than our mistakes. God's mercy is bigger than our sin. Even when we feel unworthy, he waits for us. Even when we wander far, he runs to welcome us home. As we reflect on this parable, ask yourself, who am I like in this story today? Am I the younger son, wandering and lost, craving independence and worldly pleasure? Or am I the older brother, faithful yet resentful, struggling to rejoice at someone else's redemption? Lent teaches us to examine our hearts. It calls us to humility, repentance, and reconciliation.